Hi. Okay, just a brief video. Been away, so I've not been online for a while. Oh my god, my garden's a tip. So I just wanted to do a quick video, as I have been doing videos generally every Monday. And today I just wanted to talk briefly about panic attacks. A couple of things to say, really. One is that people even ask me, is that a panic attack I've had? Now, it's different for absolutely everybody. For some people, you know, when you think of a panic attack, they think of like the traditional hyperventilating into a brown paper bag. For me, the way I used to experience a panic attack is when I would end up being sick into the toilet. For other people, it's that they will then burst into hysterical crying. So it's different for every single person. But what the common theme is there, and the kind of what's happening, is that fight or flight has been switched on, okay, and the adrenaline levels, etc., have built to such a level that it feels like really overwhelming. And it's interesting for me when people say, have I had a panic attack? Because it's almost like all that's going to do really is put a label on it, and it is what it is. The other thing I find interesting about panic attacks is lots of people with anxiety fear them, but they also create lots of stories around what they are and when they're going to happen and when they might happen. And, you know, this kind of example I'm going to give you now is something that I've experienced, and I know also that other people have that I've spoken to. So it's not just me. And one of the things I used to worry about having a panic attack was if I go somewhere that's away from home, if I go somewhere that's out in public, what if I have a panic attack? And that's quite a common fear. That is something that people talk to me about a lot. It's something that people say they wish they didn't worry about, and it's what stops them going out and doing things. Now, so if you think about just that term and that label of a panic attack, what you're saying is you are worried about going out and getting really, really, really overwhelmed. Okay. Now, one of the things that, as I say, I used to worry about was if I go out in public, what if? And that's just kind of creating that lots of overthinking, which would create those feelings, those anxious feelings. But once I started to understand a bit more about this and learn a bit more about the principles, one of the things that I realised was that I had a fear of having a panic attack out in a public place where actually, I can't remember, but I don't think I've ever had a panic attack in a public place. I'll put it this way, if I did, it wasn't that bad because I don't remember it. I've only ever had panic attacks in my own home, where things have built and got so overwhelmed, usually in my bedroom where I'm hiding out or hibernating to try and switch off from my thinking and actually creating a lot more thinking. But anyway, and so the irony was that the fear of having a panic attack in public was not based on any truth or reality whatsoever, not only because I don't know what the future brings, but also it had not happened before. The idea of it was very much at the forefront of my mind. And again, this happens with so many people. So if someone's afraid of having panic attacks outside, I'm not saying for everybody, but for a lot of the time, if I said to them, okay, how many panic attacks have you had outside in public versus hidden away at home? And more often than not, they've had way more panic attacks in their own personal space. Yet the worry is about going out in public and having a panic attack. I don't often get people saying to me that they worry about having a panic attack at home. I mean, no. Sorry, it's looking like the reception's really terrible. Let's see if I can go nearer to the window if it helps. Okay, it's not improving. So anyway, I will just finish this off because I think it's still recording, hopefully. So yeah, so it's interesting to kind of reflect on what your story is about this panic attack. and what might happen in public, etc., etc. When actually, how, what are you basing that on? What is it that, you are kind of figuring out for yourself to be true? And what is it that you are bringing into your experience through your thoughts? Because I know for me, that fear that I had was not even something that had happened. Or if it did, like I say, it would have been very few and far between. Okay, so I'll leave that there. And if anyone's got any questions, do give me a shout and I'll catch up with you soon.